the Greek philosopher Plato, in one of his dialogues entitled Protagoras, indicates that Polycletus was born on the island of Argos and took over his skills from the sculptor Agelates of Argos, who, according to legend, also taught the great Greek sculptor Phidias. Polycletus was the founder of the Peloponnesian school. About 20 of his students are known in the history of art. To appreciate the skill of this sculptor, it is necessary first to return to the Archaic period, which was still influenced by the culture of ancient Egypt. At that time, sculptures were built strictly symmetrically around the central axis. The left part was almost a complete reflection of its right part. And since the sculptures were created for cult purposes and depicted gods or demigods carrying themselves to the world, their hands were pressed against their bodies so that nothing would interfere with bringing themselves more clearly to those who listen. The body parts were expressed very conditionally. Viewed from the side, the center of gravity was placed between the legs apart, and both feet pressed against the base. In this position, the sculpture looked more majestic and spiritual. In the classical period of the 5th century BC, the time when Polycletus was creating, other customers appeared, wealthy citizens who wanted to see something more elegant and more familiar to them. Naturally, these wishes have found their reflection. The anatomy of the human body, its placement in a spatial position during times of rest and movement, and the laws of harmony were studied. New compositional schemes of sculpture construction have been developed. Unlike the archaic, sculptures were based on the principle of chiasm, when the weight of the body was transferred to the supporting leg, and the lines of the hip and shoulder girdle intersected in space. Myron was the first to do this in his Discobolus, and then this method was continued by other sculptors. Polycletus used the same scheme in his sculpture. Polycletus became famous as the greatest sculptor and art theorist who developed the doctrine of harmony and proportions of the human body. This teaching is known to us as the Canon of Polycletus. One of the definitions of the term canyon from ancient Semitic is a reed or reed, denoting, among other things, a reed pole used in construction as a standard of length for the accuracy of measurements. This pole, this measure, was sung by Polycletus in his famous sculpture, which embodied a visual aid for his teaching. The sculpture of a spearman, created by him, still serves as a subject of study and imitation. Where the measure is depicted in the form of a spear, raised by the artist's hand, as opposed to his other lowered hand. This spear, raised to a height, the measure of all measures, serves as a weapon for him in the struggle for harmony and the ideal. His supporting foot firmly standing on the platform symbolizes the victory and self-affirmation of the Creator in an uneasy battle with himself and with the circumstances that arise.